This would be a medical breakthrough that could save countless lives. It comes from the largest dinosaurs on the planet.
Oh my God.
Fortunately for us, all these species exist in one isolated place.
2024 had some awesome films like Dune 2, Wicked Part 1, and Deadpool and Wolverine, but 2025 and 2026 are shaping up to be just as packed with big releases. From the Russo brothers' epic sci-fi flick to the final chapter of the Dune saga, there's a lot to look forward to in the next couple of years. Check out the best upcoming movies for 2025 and 2026. The Electric State, March 14th. Netflix just dropped a new clip from The Electric State, the Russo brothers' upcoming sci-fi action film starring Millie Bobby Brown and Chris Pratt. Based on Simon Stålenhag's graphic novel, the story takes place after a robot uprising in an alternate 1990s. It follows an orphan teen who teams up with a cartoonish robot, a smuggler, and his sidekick on a journey across the American West to find her missing brother. The cast is stacked with Ke Huy Quan, Jason Alexander, Woody Norman, Giancarlo Esposito, and Stanley Tucci, plus voice roles from Woody Harrelson, Anthony Mackie, Brian Cox, Jenny Slate, Hank Azaria, Coleman Domingo, and Alan Tudyk. Joe Russo previously shared that The Electric State dives into both the benefits and dangers of technology, delivering a dark dystopian vibe while still carrying elements of hope, staying true to Stålenhag's vision. After this, the Russos are making their MCU comeback with Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, their first Marvel projects since Endgame. But before that, they've got a massive production on their hands. The Electric State reportedly cost a whopping $320 million to make. The Alto Knights, March 21st. Warner Brothers recently dropped the first trailer for The Alto Knights, a mob drama that has Robert De Niro pulling double duty in two roles. Directed by Barry Levinson, the film was previously titled Wise Guys and follows a power struggle between two infamous Italian-American crime bosses in mid-20th century New York. The script comes from Nicholas Pileggi, the Oscar-nominated writer behind Goodfellas, so you know it's got serious mob movie cred. De Niro plays both Vito Genovese and Frank Costello, two rival crime bosses, leading up to the infamous 1957 assassination attempt on Costello by Genovese. Costello survives, but eventually steps away from the crime world. This film reunites De Niro and Levinson, who have worked together on The Wizard of Lies, where De Niro played Bernie Madoff, What Just Happened, and Wag the Dog. The cast also includes Deborah Messing, Cosmo Jarvis, and Catherine Narducci. Oscar winner Irwin Winkler produces, along with Levinson and others, while Mike Drake is on board as an executive producer. Happy Gilmore 2, 2025. It's actually happening. Adam Sandler is finally bringing back Happy Gilmore for a long-awaited sequel. The man who made golf a full-contact sport is stepping back onto the green, and the trailer teases some big-name cameos, including Bad Bunny and Travis Kelce. Something tells us they won't be the only surprise guests from the sports and pop culture world. As for Happy himself, we're guessing he hasn't exactly calmed down with age, and his rivalry with Shooter McGavin is about to reach nuclear levels. With Sandler and his longtime writing partner Tim Herlihy back at it, expect a whole lot of nostalgia and a whole lot of bros losing their minds. A Minecraft movie, April 4th. Remember when you thought, man, I love playing Minecraft, but what if it were a live-action movie? And then you jokingly imagined Jack Black, Jason Momoa, Danielle Brooks, and that kid from Wednesday, aka Luis Guzman's son in Wednesday, running around, building stuff and fighting off blocky monsters? Well, somehow the execs at Warner Brothers heard you loud and clear, because that's exactly what they're making. And they didn't stop there. Jermaine Clement and Jennifer Coolidge are also in the cast, and while their roles haven't been confirmed, we're just going to assume they're voicing either enchanted golden apples or some totems of undying. If Hollywood can turn a valuable IP into a blockbuster, you know they're going to build it. The Accountant 2, April 25th. Ben Affleck is back as Christian Wolf in The Accountant 2, and this time he's solving a murder. The newly released trailer teases his return as the autistic accountant with lethal skills, who teams up with a Treasury agent to crack the case. To get to the truth, he'll have to reconnect with his estranged brother Brax, leading to some intense family dynamics. The sequel has been a long time coming. After the first film made $155 million worldwide on a $44 million budget, The Accountant 2 spent 8 years in development. Director Gavin O'Connor, who helms the project again, described the process as brutal, but was determined to make a film that's not just action-packed, but also deeply emotional. With original writer Bill DeBook returning for the script, the film promises a mix of high-stakes thrills and heartfelt storytelling. The Accountant 2 premieres at South by Southwest on March 8th before hitting theaters on April 25th, courtesy of Amazon MGM and Artists Equity. Hurry Up Tomorrow, May 16th. Hurry Up Tomorrow has me intrigued, if not fully excited. Starring Abel Tesfaye, Jenna Ortega, and Barry Cohen, the film shares its name with Abel's latest album, suggesting a connected narrative. The story follows a musician struggling with insomnia, embarking on a journey with a mysterious stranger who forces him to confront his identity and artistic worth. This concept could be fascinating, especially if it taps into the emotional turmoil of an artist's questioning their place in the world. If Abel draws from real experiences, like the time he lost his voice mid-concert, this could feel authentic. That said, The Idol left a sour taste in many viewers' mouths, with Abel's performance receiving heavy criticism. But this role seems to require a softer, more vulnerable side, which might suit him better. Plus, Jenna Ortega is in it, which is already a win. If the film delivers on its potential, it could be a surprise hit. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, May 23rd. Last time we saw Ethan Hunt, our favorite unstoppable super spy, he was paragliding to safety with one of the 2 keys needed to take down a rogue AI. Now, Tom Cruise is back to wrap things up in the next Mission Impossible movie. This sequel was filmed alongside 2023's Dead Reckoning Part 1 and was originally supposed to hit theaters last summer. Honestly, it's probably for the best they gave us a little break before watching Cruise pull off more insane stunts. Familiar faces like Ving Rhames, Simon Pegg, Angela Bassett, and Vanessa Kirby are returning, along with key players, pun intended, from the last movie: Haley Atwell, Palm Clementieff, Esai Morales, and Shea Wiggum. And of course, cue iconic theme music, because this time he's doing an underwater sequence where he can only wear his gear for 10 minutes before hypoxia kicks in. Yeah, 62 years old and still out here risking it all for our entertainment. The Mission Impossible team is hyping up some of the wild stunts in the film, and for good reason. Cruise isn't just hanging off planes this time, he's taking it underwater. And no, he's not using the kind of scuba gear that lets you breathe comfortably for hours. That would be too easy. Instead, he's wearing a special rig so we can actually see his face on screen, which of course means his oxygen supply is on a tight countdown. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Cruise tries to top this in a future film, maybe a stunt in space. Either way, The Final Reckoning is shaping up to be another jaw-dropping ride. Karate Kid Legends, May 30th. After they dropped the trailer for this, and I gotta say, I was not expecting that vibe. I know people love to dunk on Hollywood reboots and sequels, but right now, I'm not one of them. When this movie was first announced, I was skeptical, especially after the fun, high-energy feel of Cobra Kai. But this is looking dark, intense, and honestly, I'm here for it. This Karate Kid sequel brings back 63-year-old Ralph Macchio, the OG Karate Kid, and 70-year-old Jackie Chan, who trained Jaden Smith in the 2010 remake. Now, they're teaming up to train a new kid, Li Fong, played by Ben Wang, a kung fu prodigy in New York who gets caught up in trouble and enters a karate competition. Since he's not quite ready, Mr. Han and Daniel step in, blending their legendary skills to create a whole new Karate Kid. What do I want from a Karate Kid movie? Top-tier martial arts, and from what we see in the trailer, it looks promising. The action is crisp, the training sequences look legit, and even the legends are getting in on the fight. Plus, the trailer's music and tone feel focused and intense, like that moment when you're locked in and ready to go. Sure, the story will probably be predictable, and who knows, maybe Jackie Chan gets revealed as Mr. Miyagi's long-lost brother. But if this movie makes me feel like I could kick through 20 layers of wood, I'll consider it a win. Also, can we talk about how Macchio and Chan are in their 60s and 70s, but still moving like pros? I need whatever Hollywood magic they're using. Elio, June 13th. Exciting news, Pixar's back with Elio. This animated adventure follows an 11-year-old boy who's certain there's intelligent life out there in the universe. Turns out he's right. Not only do aliens exist, but they also mistakenly believe he's Earth's official leader. Now, Elio finds himself at an interstellar summit, representing humanity while a bunch of extraterrestrials try to prevent a cosmic disaster. The film is co-directed by Adrian Molina and Madeline Sharafian, both known for their work on Coco, along with Domi Shi, the creative force behind Bao and Turning Red. With that team, Elio is shaping up to be another Pixar gem. F1, June 27th. Brad Pitt is revving up for F1, a high-octane racing drama directed by Top Gun Maverick's Joseph Kosinski. Pitt plays a retired Formula One driver who left the circuit after a brutal accident but gets pulled back in to mentor a rising star, played by Damson Idris. With a stacked cast that includes Kerry Condon, Javier Bardem, and Tobias Menzies, and real F1 racing sequences filmed at actual Grand Prix events, this movie is shaping up to be a must-watch for motorsport fans. Jurassic World Rebirth, July 2nd. Jurassic World Rebirth is bringing some serious firepower with its first trailer. Directed by Gareth Edwards, this installment promises jaw-dropping visuals, intense action, and a fresh take on the Dino Saga. The star-studded cast, Scarlett Johansson, Jonathan Bailey, and Mahershala Ali, adds even more hype, especially since Ali has been in limbo with Blade. The plot? Dinosaurs are dwindling, but 3 hold genetic material crucial for life-saving drugs. A team is sent to retrieve them, only to uncover a hidden island with terrifying, never-before-seen dinos, possibly a mutated beast inspired by a T-Rex, a Rancor, and a Xenomorph. This sounds wild. If the film balances its spectacle with a solid story, it could finally break the franchise's hit-or-miss streak. Fingers crossed it's more Jurassic Park than Jurassic Dud. I Know What You Did Last Summer, July 18th. The 1997 slasher I Know What You Did Last Summer is getting the requel treatment, meaning it's both a sequel and a soft reboot, much like Scream. This time around, a new group of unsuspecting victims will find themselves hunted by the infamous hook-wielding killer. But the big news? Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. are back, reprising their original roles. Their return adds some serious nostalgia to the mix, likely tying the new storyline to the past in a meaningful way. Expect plenty of suspense, scream-worthy moments, and of course, warnings to the next generation that they really need to be careful. Fantastic Four First Steps, July 25th. Marvel is taking another shot at Fantastic Four, hoping to finally deliver the definitive version of Marvel's first family. Previous attempts, whether it was the early 2000s films, the infamous 2015 reboot, or even Roger Corman's 90s low-budget version, never quite captured the magic of the comics. Now, with the Fantastic Four officially part of the MCU, there's a real chance to get it right. The Fantastic Four has showed that it's bringing all the retro-futuristic vibes. The visuals alone are stunning, giving off that classic, yet modern sci-fi feel that makes this film look like pure cinema. The sleek design, the nostalgic yet fresh aesthetic, it's already winning fans over. As for the team, Johnny Storm's Flame On looks crisp, and The Thing has a unique, almost friendly look that adds character. The casting of Eben Moss-Bachrach, especially with his first scene in a kitchen, a fun nod to the bear, is a clever touch. Vanessa Kirby's Sue Storm looks straight out of the comics, radiating leadership. And while we didn't see much of Reed Richards' stretching powers yet, his chalkboard moment was a nice, grounded touch. Oh, and Galactus? A proper live-action take on the cosmic giant? The hype is real. Add in a heroic score that brings back the epic vibes of 90s and early 2000s superhero films, and this teaser is setting up something special. The Bride, September 26th. Maggie Gyllenhaal is bringing a bold punk musical twist to The Bride of Frankenstein with The Bride, one of 2 Frankenstein-inspired films hitting theaters this year. Christian Bale takes on the role of the patched-together monster, while Jesse Buckley plays his custom-made bride. The star-studded cast also includes Penelope Cruz, Annette Bening, Peter Sarsgaard, John Magaro, Jake Gyllenhaal, Julianne Hough, and Jeannie Berlin. With such a stacked lineup and Gyllenhaal's unique vision, this reimagining is shaping up to be a wild, stylish take on a horror classic. Bugonia, November 7th. Yorgos Lanthimos is tackling Save the Green Planet in an English-language remake, reuniting with Emma Stone and Kinds of Kindness co-star Jesse Plemons. The original 2003 South Korean film was a wild blend of sci-fi, comedy, and thriller, following two paranoid young men who kidnap a CEO because they believe she's an alien. Knowing Lanthimos' style, this remake will likely push the weirdness even further. If you've seen the original, you know how unhinged it gets. Let's hope he keeps that unforgettable ending intact. Wicked for Good, November 21st. Wicked Part 2 wraps up John M. Chu's two-part adaptation of the beloved Broadway musical, diving deeper into the friendship and fallout between Glinda and Elphaba. Fans of the stage show know where this is headed, but for newcomers, expect an emotional, magical, and visually stunning ride. Jeff Goldblum, Michelle Yeoh, Bowen Yang, Jonathan Bailey, and Peter Dinklage are all back for the grand finale. If Part 1 set the stage, Part 2 is where things really take flight, so hold on to your broomsticks. Marty Supreme, 25th December 2025. Josh Safdie's upcoming period drama, starring Timothée Chalamet, centers on a ping-pong champion loosely inspired by real-life table tennis star Marty Reisman. The film blends sports drama with Safdie's signature gritty storytelling, and yes, that mustache Chalamet was rocking on the A Complete Unknown press tour was for this role, not a secret John Waters biopic. The cast is just as intriguing as the premise, featuring Gwyneth Paltrow, Penn Jillette, Tyler the Creator, and Abel Ferrara. Meanwhile, Josh's brother Benny Safdie is also bringing a sports drama in 2025, The Smashing Machine, focused on UFC fighter Mark Kerr. Soulmate, January 2nd, 2026. The Megan universe is expanding with a new erotic thriller called Soulmate, set to drop on January 2nd, 2026. Made by Atomic Monster and Blumhouse, the movie follows a guy who buys an AI android to help him deal with the death of his wife. But things take a dark turn when his attempt to create a real connection leads to his love bot turning into a dangerous soulmate. Kate Dolan, who directed You Are Not My Mother, rewrote the original script by Raphael Jordan. The story was created by James Wan, Ingrid Bisu, and Jordan. Dolan said she wanted to dive into themes of relationships and loneliness, highlighting how, no matter how advanced tech gets, some human emotions stay the same. James Wan and Jason Blum are producing, with Michael Clear and Judson Scott as executive producers. Wan called Soulmate an exciting and seductive addition to the Megan world, which already includes the first movie that made over $181 million, and the upcoming sequel, Megan 2.0, coming out June 27, 2025, with Allison Williams and Violet McGraw returning. 28 years later, The Bone Temple, January 16, 2026. 28 years later, The Bone Temple, directed by Nia DaCosta and written by Alex Garland, is the sequel to 28 Years Later and the fourth film in the 28 Days Later series. Aaron Taylor Johnson and Cillian Murphy are back in their roles, with filming set to begin in August 2024. In December 2024, Taylor Johnson confirmed the movies were shot back-to-back. Produced by Columbia Pictures, the British Film Institute, Decibel Films, and DNA Films. Super Mario Bros. 2, April 3, 2026. The Super Mario Bros. Movie 2 is officially happening, following the massive success of the first film. The sequel is set to drop 3 years after the original. In a recent update, Keegan-Michael Key, who voices Toad, hinted that the sequel will have a little broader scope with new characters, including some deep cuts from Mario lore. Expect even more Easter eggs as the universe expands. The main cast is all set to return, including Chris Pratt as Mario, Anya Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach, Charlie Day as Luigi, Jack Black as Bowser, and Keegan-Michael Key as Toad. There are also rumors that characters like Wario, Waluigi, Daisy, and even Rosalina from Super Mario Galaxy might show up. The film could introduce new villains, such as Bowser Jr. and the Koopalings. The sequel is set up by the post-credit scenes from the first movie, where Bowser is trapped in a cage and a Yoshi egg is found in Brooklyn, teasing the iconic dinosaur's appearance in the sequel. The return to Brooklyn also suggests the Mario Brothers might revisit the real world. Project Hail Mary, March 20th, 2026. Ryan Gosling's sci-fi movie Project Hail Mary has officially started filming, and director Christopher Miller shared a behind-the-scenes photo to mark the occasion. Based on Andy Weir's novel, the same author behind The Martian, The film stars Gosling as Ryland Grace, an astronaut with amnesia on a critical mission to save humanity from an impending disaster. Miller and Phil Lord, known for their work on the Lego Movie and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, are leading the project. The clapboard in the BTS shot also hints that Greg Fraser is handling cinematography, which adds extra excitement for the film's visuals. Project Hail Mary is set to release on March 20th, 2026, and with filming just beginning, there's plenty of time to build the suspense and detail for this space adventure. Alongside Gosling, Sandra Hüller will play Ava Stratt, Ryland's boss, showing that Earth will play a key role in the story. The movie will blend the isolation of space with the critical stakes on Earth, creating a larger perspective on the mission. With Gosling recently receiving praise for his role in The Fall Guy, expectations are high for his performance in this ambitious project. Dune Messiah, 16 December 2026. Denis Villeneuve is aiming to shoot Dune 3 this summer, with pre-production already underway. While June may be too early, a summer start is the goal, depending on factors like talent availability. After the success of Dune Part 2, which earned over $700 million at the global box office and received Best Picture Oscar nominations, the third installment will adapt Frank Herbert's sequel novel, Dune Messiah. This will conclude Paul Atreides' journey as Emperor of the Universe. In Dune Messiah, Paul Atreides, now Emperor for 12 years, faces the consequences of his messianic rise among the Fremen, which has led to a religious jihad sweeping the known universe. The story delves into Paul's internal struggle as he grapples with the power he's gained and the devastating future he must try to avoid. Zendaya's availability is key, as her schedule includes The Odyssey, Euphoria Season 3, and Spider-Man 4. The film's shooting locations are yet to be confirmed, though Hungary, Jordan, and Abu Dhabi were used for previous films. Well, that's it for today. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe because we'll be covering more updates on upcoming movies. See you next time.